Ladies, gentlemen, welcome back. And today we got a video on the unit buffs. Obviously did a video not so long ago about the units that were being buffed, and now we get to see it in action. We got some really good buffs here. We got some that are too strong, and we've got some that are not really noticeable. Now I'm not doing every unit. I'm leaving out any unit that didn't have anything significant changed. If it was just like a health from 10,000 to 11,000, we're not looking at that. Anything with a significant change or better AI, that's on this list. And also we test them against spear sergeants. Spear sergeants are a good general, and then some of them I do test against stalwarts too. So there are 2 test beds, and yeah, we go through quite a lot. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, starting out with the Liao Rangers. Now, I think these boys had the biggest of buffs out of everyone. From the listing here, I can see that they had their max health increased, bludgeon's cooldown reduced, devastation's cooldown was reduced, and does 12% more damage to infantry. Bludgeon now hits 7 targets instead of 6. So yeah, these guys were sort of the issue. Very strong, as you've seen on screen. It's pretty crazy. Their bludgeon's on such a low cooldown, it's back before you know it, and you could just strike again. We obviously, with all these units, we've got the best doctrines. Cataphracts got a health increase, piercing damage increase, and Rally to Me's AI, it was adjusted that they immediately charge the current target. So yeah, we're trying to get that to work, and it does seem like they kind of missile at things. So just guide them past, and they do some decent damage, and they seem to like angle their way in. Did a few bit of testing, like charging them, doing a charge next to the targets, and then clicking Rally to Me, and it seems like they turn and go into them, like this off to one side. We're charging, and then I do Rally to Me, and they sort of aim into the group. That's quite good. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking from those. Moving on, Pavise. Pavise had their damage decay per pierced by each bolt 60% down to 25%. So they're less decay. Maximum damage fall off over distance was 45, is now 35%, and rate of fire is increased by 20%. Now these boys' rate of fire is really good, and I did try them against things that didn't have shields, and they did melt it. They do melt it, and obviously these are meant for cav. I just needed a test bed that was spear sergeants and stalwarts to use for this, because we see those everywhere. So they were the best ones, and I can't just go through hundreds of units with each of these units. So those were the 2 test beds. But nonetheless, I think these will do really well against cav. Now that their rate of fire is absolutely crazy. Like really strong. But yes, there's not much going on here with those, so we're going to put those away. Moving on, Retinarii. Now this was the big one for me. I know I always say their name wrong. Tier 5 Javs. Gladiators. Let's go for that. I always get flamed for saying their name wrong. But that's how I've just known it for so long, and I can't really get out of my head. But their throw actually does damage now. Like, genuinely does some really decent damage. This is how a T5 Jav should be. Again, I still think I'd prefer a bigger unit. Just make them take the buff they've had and take that away. Keep the block break, but yeah. And more unit count, but you know, as it counts, it's done well. It kills things quickly, but don't put them in combat, otherwise they will insta die. You know, they died to like eight stalwarts there, so yeah, that was not okay. He's going into cover commander mode. Just wanted to see how they get on with this. I'm not sure how many we're picking up, but you know, it's tickling in there. We're going to keep it going. It's a bit annoying that after you throw, they want to go after the shields, which they just kind of stand still. You got to keep reminding yourself to keep them still. But there's now they're penetrating. I think it's good. They're not great. They'll be good. And this is obviously with the best doctrines you could possibly put on them. So yeah, I think I can have some fun with those. Moving on, Iron Reapers. Iron Reapers got a base health increase, base slashing increase, shocks cooldown reduced, tiger step reduced to 35 seconds. Sorry, reduced to from 40 to 35. Shock being the charge reduced to 35. And when their flail light attack can now hit 4, charge attacks can hit 4. Heavy attack wind up is reduced by 20%. So just all round good little buff, even though they're not really doing a huge amount here. And I forgot to say for the last one, Retinarii, I got the block break value up to 1,000. They got about 2,000 health increase, and the number of javelins can pierce enemies is from 2 to 7, and decay is reduced. Damage decay from 30% to 80% block break effect. No longer just, yeah. Anyway, there you go. Moving on, assassins. Assassins chucking in there. Little smoke bomb. Assassins eviscerate. Its cooldown is from 2.2 seconds to 1.2. And they basically made your damage immune for duration increase from 1 second to 2 whenever they're doing their sliding around, passing through, jumping around. So they're immune to damage whenever they're doing those sort of slip and slides. That's really, really strong. These guys are going to be strong. I know they don't look it there, but they're going to be strong. Queens, Knights, they got a health increase, and attacks from bash and thrust prioritize hitting multiple enemies. First shield bash targets count. They've basically gone up from hitting 1 to 2 enemies with their shield bash. So it actually might make the shield bash vet line work. I'm not currently in the shield bash vet line, but I was just trying to look at it and see how they aim their shields. So when not in this clip, in one of the clips coming up, I don't even bother going in with a 1 ability. I just go straight in with the shield ability, which bash and thrust, and it seems to work really nicely. Just kind of continuous damage rather than anything else. So we just go in with bash and thrust here. They kind of prioritize their shields a bit better. They're stacked up. And then now they start just nailing in with the thrusting part. And it's not huge damage, but it's consistent. And they get a big damage reduction when they do it. And it's managed to kill. And now moving on to doing the slip and slide. And yeah, so just a bit of extra damage, I guess. Zhanders. The Zhanders got more health. They got base slashing increased by 200 and removed the pre-aim offset of Knight's Gambit. Basically making them, before when you click Knight's Gambit, they would just do it. And so you'd have a load of them in the middle of nowhere swinging their swords and hitting nobody. So if you watch them here, I'll click Knight's Gambit and they'll actually like push through themselves. They don't get themselves like they don't just start doing Knight's Gambit. That's quite nice. That means they're actually being able to, get in there and not waste damage. So that's a very good change for them. It'd be interesting to see them running them top line as well. Now Tercios. This is vet line double block break. Tercios got a base rate of fire increased by 20 and a base piercing up from 1,748 to 1,927. And it's actually super effective. This is a gun block break, and I've gone the double block break vet line, so block break on both trees, and this actually does really well at annihilating shields. Like, it's peppering through it. It's doing decent damage. The rate of fire is crazy. I mean, we are nailing through ammunition, but yeah, this actually could be viable with how quickly this is doing stuff. And then if obviously any heroes try and jump you, you just click 2. So if you remember Pavise, this is just better. This is just better.
Check aim.
Now we have Imperial pikes. Imperial pikes got extra piercing damage, advance piercing modifier from 1.8 to 1. Loyal strikes applies advanced damage bonus for 5 seconds after loyal strikes. is used. Unit also gains advanced defense. I apologize about the lagginess. We disconnected around this stage, so you'll see a little jump in the footage. But yeah, their damage is pretty wild. And obviously they're gaining defense from that. Axe Raiders, these bad boys, they have got extra health, extra slashing penetration, slashing damage. Axe throws, thrown axes now deals 100% their damage as blunt damage. Max damage fall off over distance has gone from 30% to 10%, so they can throw their axes real far without losing too much damage, but the output is nothing really. It's not good. And then chuck them in melee, and yeah, it's it hasn't really done too much to them. I mean, it's probably going to be okay against like what I would say they will do a lot of damage to is things like Rattans. If they can throw at Rattans, because they are going to be throwing their axes with blunt damage, and Rattans have no blunt defense, so yeah, that's probably where they're going to come in quite useful. Mermillones, their unit size has gone from 28 to 32. Slashing penetration's gone up. Slashing damage has gone up. Blunt damage has gone up from 1,040 to 1,310. That's slashing penetration. Base blunt damage has gone up from 774 to 902. So they are pounding now. Having that extra few units, I think this should go to 40. I think all tower shields should just be at 40 because it would just make things uniformed. I heard someone say that the other day, and I totally agree. But yeah, that's them. Now we have the what do they call them here? Let me just find the list. I always forget these guys' names. The Galahad spearmen. The charged javelins no longer lose damage over distance and can pierce 2 extra targets, dealing 45% to the pierce targets. So just more damage and no drop off from their charge throw. Their charge throw can go as far as you want, basically, and doesn't have a damage drop off. So that's pretty cool. It's just a big, long guided missile. Musha's onslaught base cooldown is reduced from 14 to 11 seconds, but their block break is terrible. So yeah, they don't really achieve much in this clip. So we just sort of skip through them pretty quickly. And now we go and test some against stalwarts. So we got Liao's. That I definitely think Liao's came off best this season. That stalwart's being absolutely annihilated. I know we are sort of coming around the side. We're going to click bludgeoned, and everything does get bludgeoned instantly. That's dead. And then we got Cataphracts, so I'm just going to take them through and rally to me, just see how they get on. And we actually lose quite a lot of, well, all of them. We do it again, going for a little charge, see how they get on. And we lose all of those. So that shows you how strong the owls are, that they can get in there and not die instantly. Some reason I tested Chevaliers just because they got more health, but I was like, I'll put them with Courtiers and see how that goes. I love it because there's so much cav, but yeah, they of course get completely wiped. It's only a health buff for them, nothing else, so it's nothing to write home about. Assassins, I wanted to try them against stalwarts to see how they get on, and they actually get in there and survive for longer than I expected, to be honest. I thought they would get completely annihilated instantly. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more assassins, definitely a lot more. Even though they don't do that well against this or spear sergeants, they're going to be a nightmare when they're sneaking around. You'll see a lot of people using them, I reckon. We may see more of these, but of the Zhanders, but yeah, with these at the moment, I'm using them top line because the buff that they got kind of goes to Knight's Gambit, that it's top line. But they didn't do too well against stalwarts. And this is another impressive one. The Tercios, I was definitely impressed. Look at the damage this gun unit does to stalwarts. It is like absolutely outrageous for a shield unit to be getting block braked this badly. absolutely, it's crazy. It's crazy. You'll see a lot more of these. Although you will do, but there's going to be, obviously, there's raw longbows about now, so they will be very vulnerable to those. But look at that. Just broken through that. I know it's, you know, it's a couple of seconds, but God, it's quite cool to see. And then want to do Mermillones versus Stalwarts. That this is going to be a unit you're going to see a lot. This is going to be the shield killer. It's insanely good. And then it doesn't allow them to get back into formation. So once it's inside, it just spreads them out, and they try and get back in. By that point, you've probably got your charge back. That means you can just nail all of them down. Yeah, these boys are worth unlocking now. If they leave this beta in this state, they're worth. I don't think they're too strong. I think they're perfect. I think this is how they should be. Mermillone's going to be the real shock troop again. That's going to be lovely. Stalwarts are still going to hold up. They're still holding up to everything. But yeah. Imperial pikemen. Just want to see how they did directly into things. And my filming did not like them. Every time I pulled them out, I seemed to glitch about a bit. And then I wanted to try it on this here, on these stallies. They're going in for the slam there. And they actually, that time, do lose quite a few there. And then we wanted to try it against Spartans on advance and see. And actually, Nick said to me that the Spartans were all on red health, so they put out enough damage that got all these Spartans to red health. That is pretty impressive. But yeah, Spartans did take the win there, but they were fully charged up straight into them. But yeah, all the Spartans on red health. We did kill some. Liaos are strong. Okay. That is all the notable units. I hope this has been okay testing. I know it's just been spear sergeants and stalwarts, but they're kind of what you see most on the field, and doing this many units versus multiple units would just take a year. But out of this, I think the Retinarii are looking great. Assassins are going to be strong. Liaos hopefully don't make it out of here in the state they're in. They are super strong, and I don't want to see that sort of cav meta back again. Axe Raiders, sort of not that great. The Mermillones, awesome. Zhanders, yeah, kind of okay. It's going to help them. I don't think we're going to see them that much. And the Queen's Knights looking pretty good, to be honest. Retinarii are the ones that I want to use most. And actually, biggest surprise for me is the Tercios. That extra piercing damage with the block break, with the 20% rate of fire increase. Wow, those guys are machine guns. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, gentlemen. It's gonna be very interesting, but all very needed. I'd like to see a few more reworks coming in for a few units. I'm looking at the old Banner Guard. Let's not forget about them. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one.